It's not just AC and all this extreme heat, but AI that is putting America's power grids under relentless pressure, and some companies are doing something about it. Google now pledging $25 billion investing in AI infrastructure. They're doing it across the largest electrical grid in the country, one spanning 13 states plus Washington, D.C. This would all happen over the next 2 years, and it includes, just as one example, a $3 billion commitment to modernize hydropower plants in Pennsylvania. Sounds like something from another century. Google, Meta, and other companies, though, are pushing for these improvements to power their AI ambitions. And just this past Tuesday at an energy summit, President Trump announced more than $90 billion of investments from private companies to develop AI and energy projects, again, in the state of Pennsylvania. And then the timing, of course, comes as China and the U.S. are locked in a race for tech dominance. We're losing our edge, a lot of people say. And by the way, if you're wondering about the facts here, how much power does AI really use? According to a Goldman Sachs report widely cited, on average, one ChatGPT prompt uses about 10 times more electricity than a regular old Google search. So what does all this mean for AI, for energy, for the power grid, for my AC in a hot summer? We're joined by Nick Thompson, CEO of The Atlantic and former editor-in-chief of Wired. For all of this, Nick, great to have you here.
Great to be here.
Could you detail for us why AI would draw so much more power than search as we know it?
Yeah, there are two reasons. First of all, you have to train the model, which is really hard. You dump all this data in, it takes a lot of compute to do that. Secondly, when you do a regular Google search, it's a little bit like a librarian just saying, hey, it's that book over there. It's a pretty simple process. When you do an AI search, it's more like a librarian having to think about all the books they read and then answering it. It takes a lot more brain power.
So, Nick, if there's more brain power, computer power required, that means that our grid, our power grid is being strained. Could that mean that electricity bills are going to go up for people?
Absolutely. I mean, there's no question. A lot of the increased power demand in this country right now is because of AI. That's going to put more strain on the grid. It could potentially increase prices. The way to counter it will be if the AI companies, if the federal government invest a lot more, particularly in clean energy, particularly in always-on clean energy. That's how we'll counter it.
Nick, AI is growing very quickly. Meanwhile, power generation is a slower investment. The capital just takes time to deploy. Are these things going to move side by side, or are they going to be out of sync and cause problems?
I think they're going to be out of sync, and they're probably going to cause problems. I mean, I think what's going to happen is there's going to be a strain in the years ahead. I hope that this massive investment counters some of it. I also hope that AI can help science move faster so that we can be more energy efficient. And then also, maybe we should look at what China did. Like, this deal brings 3 gigawatts of power online, hydropower. That's awesome. In May, China brought on 93 gigawatts of solar. So the United States is not investing in its energy infrastructure. Yeah, just in May. So China is going whole hog on solar, assuming it's the energy of the future. We're way, way, way behind. So ideally, there'll be some kind of a project like that in this country as people become aware of the power needs of this amazing technology.
So it sounds like Google is making this investment in hydro. China's focusing on solar. So this is all clean energy. But what does this mean for climate change? Because, you know, it's a lot of power that needs to be generated.
Yeah, AI is a catastrophe for climate change in the short run. In the short run, the power demand is really, really bad for climate change. What the AI optimists will tell you, what the tech companies will tell you, is that one of the things that AI does is make science much more efficient. It will allow us to figure out new ways of making cement that release less carbon dioxide. It's already helping airplanes figure out more carbon efficient routes. Eventually, it'll help us design solar carbon sink technology. So in the long run, maybe AI is good for the climate. In the short run, not at all.
Will we be here by the time it'll help us?
That's a good question.
Yes. I hope so.
Nick, where are you on the question of the U.S. versus China in this race for tech dominance? It was no contest for much of the last 2 decades, and now I feel like I'm constantly seeing reports of more patents coming out of China, more capacity coming out of China, more ability to match or exceed us on electric vehicles, on you name it, drones. Are we losing this?
We're winning in some areas and losing in some areas. Like, clearly the United States is leading in innovative foundation models. I think our culture of free speech, our university system, our ability to attract the best immigrants from around the world, at least traditionally, not as much right now, but at least traditionally, has given us a big edge. Most of the AI industry is based here. China, on the other hand, is far ahead of us in robotics. It's far ahead of us in industrial manufacturing. They have spent so much time making things that as you make new AI devices, whether it's drones or electric cars with AI sensors, they have a big advantage. And then they've also kind of started catching up on foundation models. And it seems like what all the sanctions we've done, the result of all the sanctions has been kind of to push China to innovate with less good technology, as we saw with DeepSeek, which is in a way narrowing the gap. So we're up in some things, China's up in some things. There we are.
All right, we'll let you get back to reading all those books behind you in your book alcove or wherever you are. Did someone lock you in a clock tower?
I'm in an attic at a house in the Catskills powered by solar energy.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing.
Beautiful.
What an example. Nick, we really appreciate your time. Thank you.
He's walking the walk, Nick Thompson.
the walk.
Thank you so much. That was today's By the Way.